The first place where you ride a dirt bike or where you learn to ride can make a big impact on how safe it is and how fun it is. So if you or your spouse, your child, a friend are just learning to ride, it's super important to start in the right spot or area. And that's why I want to show you where you should start riding, why it's important, and how it can affect how quickly you learn how to ride, what can happen if you don't, and then what you need to start practicing so that you can become a better and safer rider faster. But before I get into that, I want to give you a free gift. It is the basic techniques to learn how to properly ride with confidence so that you can ride faster, smoother, and safer with more control. It's at motocrosshideout.com/free lessons. So where you want to ride is you want to start in an open field or a flat backyard. And why this is so important is because all you're doing is practicing clutch and throttle control, as well as balance and braking and sitting and standing. And you can do all that in a small to medium-sized backyard or just an open field. And so if you start, let's say you start in the woods, riding on the trails right away, you don't have the proper fundamentals to stay in control. So in the woods, it's a lot tighter. It's easy to get intimidated because I've brought new riders out on the trails. Even after they learned, after 10, 15 minutes of riding, they're like, oh yeah, I'm ready for the riding in the woods. But then they get in there and it's really easy to tense up. And because there's all the trees around, you only have a few feet of path to ride on. So it's easy to tense up and not look where you're riding. It's easy to nick a tree and just fly off into the woods somewhere. So there's trees, obstacles. It's harder to balance. You just don't have complete confidence in your skills, especially when there's corners or ruts or rocks, or the terrain is up and down with elevation changes. So that's why you want to start on a flat area so you can practice your balance, your corners, and just get really confident on flat, open ground. The other place where you don't want to learn to ride is at the track. This is even worse of an idea to go start learning to ride on a track, because the obstacles, doing the jumps, that's so much harder than riding on flat ground. So not only do you not have good throttle control and balance, but doing it over a jump is 10 times harder. You don't have the muscle memory built up to if you make a mistake in a corner or going over a jump, it's a lot harder to correct yourself because you don't have the muscle memory built up to know what the bike is doing when the suspension compresses, when you're trying to slow down, or when you get off balance. You don't know what to do. And when there's obstacles like jumps or whoops or big berms, it's a lot easier to get out of control, tip over, get yourself hurt, or someone else. That's the other thing. There's going to be other people on the track unless you have a private track and no one else is there. But even then, I don't recommend it. But when there's other people on the track, it's intimidating because you're trying not to hit them. You're trying to obey the track rules, stay on the track. You hear their bikes. It's intimidating to hear all that noise. There's usually louder bikes on the track. And you don't want to get hurt, but then you want to keep up with them maybe because you want to show how good you are. But learning to ride on a track is just a really bad idea. It's just asking for you to get hurt. It's so overwhelming trying to ride the track, learn the track, obey the rules, keep your line, hold your line, look ahead while learning to ride. There's just so much going on. As a new rider, it's just so overwhelming. It's so much easier to get out of control and get you or someone else hurt. So, what you need to practice, I mentioned it already, but learning proper clutch and throttle control. So why is this important? Because so many riders, they learn how to use the clutch just to get going, and they think that's good enough. But when you learn and understand what the clutch is doing, how to be efficient with it so that you're not slipping it, not only will you be able to have better traction, but you'll be able to prevent stalling it more, whether it's coming to a stop or coming into a corner. Like just keeping a finger on the clutch lever, that has saved me so many times when I come into a corner hot, accidentally give it too much rear brake. I lock up the rear wheel. This locks up the engine unless you have the brake pulled in. So that's just one little technique that so many people seem to miss when they're learning to ride. And then throttle control, it's awesome to hear the bike, rev it out, spit some roost, but it's not good because if the tire is spinning, you're not accelerating as quickly as you should be. So not only is it slower, but if you're spinning the rear tire, your back end's probably going to start sliding out. And you're going to be out of balance. So whether it's coming out of a corner or going up a hill, you're just going to lose your momentum, your speed, and your balance if your tire is sliding. So, and then braking too. So learning how to brake faster and efficient is not only good for going faster, but it's safer, because if you can learn how to the initial braking point and then knowing how much brake you can squeeze to slow down, that's going to be safer for you because you'll be able to stop faster. Like if you're coming in hot to a corner, you're not going to fly out outside, go off a cliff, hit a tree. But also, if you lock it up, your front tire is going to slide out, and then the bike's just going to go out from under you, and then you're just going to fall and potentially get hurt. So braking is super important too. Body position, balance. Balance is more than just staying up on two wheels. You got to have proper body position with your feet, your legs, your hips, your back, your head, your arms. You use your whole body. Dirt biking is not just sitting there and twisting the throttle like some people might say that have never ridden a dirt bike before, or they've done it once and thought they were really good because they could go really fast down the street. But dirt biking, it's hard work if you want to be a good rider, especially if you want to be a good trail rider. And I want to show you how to become a better trail rider, more confident, more in control, safer, faster, smoother. And you can do that by downloading my free guide. It's the 12 basic techniques to riding confidently and with control. It's at motocrosshideout.com/free lessons. So, and I want to hear from you. Do you know of or have a friend that has a place where you can learn to ride, whether it's a medium-sized backyard or a field? So if you're starting out, let me know if you have a place to ride or not. Post it in the comments below. This is Kelly Fager from Motocross Hideout. Learn more, ride more.